Alright, what's up guys? We're at the close-up of the Stubby 21700 by Orca Vape, Vapors Cloud, and Vaping Bogan. As you guys know, okay? The cheeky bastard from Australia came out with a 21700 version of the Stubby. You know, this bad boy that I recently reviewed that people love and, you know, okay? So same package, okay, same contents. You're going to get a user manual. You're going to get a nice little card from Bogan saying thank you for picking it up. You're going to get an additional drip tip. You're going to get a little adapter that you can use with your bridges, your AIO, your burrow bridges. All right. But it also comes with a Stubby tank, just like the original Stubby came with. All right. And here is the Dark Devil color, which I really enjoy. It looks, I don't know, the color pretty much represents pretty much the color that you're seeing on camera. So, but yeah, fire button right there. You got this door. These aren't interchangeable with the original Stubby, FYI. I just checked it off camera. These are longer, obviously, because it's a bigger mod. But this chip is still a wireless chip, so you can easily just replace it and swap it out versus having to send this to somebody else to wire it and do all that. You can just buy another chip from Vapors Cloud and or Suicide Mods, sorry, and you could just put it in, take these out. I have a tutorial how to do that on my original Stubby review. So if you want to know how to do that, if you're watching this while you haven't, it's broken, check that out. But you got that. This is the red. These two reds are a little bit different versus even the, I didn't even mention it, but the grays on the door versus this is a little bit shade different of gray. And the same goes for this Devil, Dark Devil, right? It's a little bit bigger, as you know. It says Stubby. It's going to take a 21700. It's perfectly indicated, positive down, negative up. Same spinny thing to adjust. Okay. Look at that in a second. Now, on the door, where the airflow is, and you have the Stubby tank inside. I can really just take that out because we're going to do a build anyways. But there's 4 magnets, right? I think this probably happened during transit, but the door on the right side doesn't fully, it's not flush like the OG Stubby, right? It's a little indented, and it's pretty safe to say it happened in transit. I know Brian Harrison wouldn't send me something like that, so don't worry about it, Brian. I just wanted to be transparent and mention it as so if anybody sees that, it's not going to really pertain to yours. It shouldn't. I mean, unless it happened in transit, but it's just transit. It must have got hit on this and dented in the magnet. So not a big deal. Just wanted to mention it. Very easy to take that out. That's how the airflow works. You could also run it with the door off if you wanted maybe a little bit more airflow, but, you know, got the connection down below to complete the connection. Yes, I know everybody's been talking to me and mentioning this drip tip. I mean, I haven't got so many questions and responses pertaining to this drip tip. It's crazy. And they ask me where I got it. I really don't know where I got it. However, I do, if I had to take a guess just by looking at it, I do believe it might have come off the Asylum Mods RTA. I can't remember exactly which one, but because of this, I think it like machined into the top of the RTA, possibly. Maybe, or it was a sub-ohm tank. Maybe, I really don't know where the hell I got it, but I've never got so many responses based on this drip tip. So I just wanted to kind of mention that as well. It is a very comfortable drip tip. I do see why people really want it and want to find out where I got it, but I think it possibly could be an RTA, like a Silent Mods RTA or a sub-ohm tank, but it basically like seated into the top section of the atomizer that I got it from. And I just took it off to use it somewhere else. It wasn't, I just kind of grabbed it and I was like, oh, that matches, you know, like the black with the gray and the stainless steel, you know, it just kind of like looked like it matched really well. So that's why I went for it. But anyways, takes 510 drip tips, right? Okay, it's got your typical Bogan Suicide Mods Orca Vape inside. Serial number down below. Very, very nice, like cool way they did the serial number. All right. And then they did come out with a mouth-to-lung version of the Stubby tank. They basically gave you a different top section, which was a smaller chamber, and they gave you another insert, which made the airflow tighter. And yeah, I don't have it. I'm not surprised Brian didn't send it because I'm not really a mouth-to-lung vapor. Like, I do it from time to time here and there, but I'm not really the go-to guy on mouth-to-lung. I would rather have that sent to somebody that does vape mouth-to-lung on a consistent basis, you know? But anyways, also Brian sent me some beta coils for, I think this was for the original Stubby tank. So, considering the tank's the same, I'm going to use these. I'm really curious to see how these vape. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to throw a build in it, and I'm going to show you how to wick it and all that good stuff. And then I'll see you up top. Back from the close-up on the Stubby 21 by Vaping Bogan, Suicide Mods, and Orca Vape. Yeah, buddy. So, what do I have to tell you about this? It's basically the same version of the original Stubby, but it takes a 21700. So I love that. That's a pro. Gonna get better battery life. Little bit more of a punch of power because of the battery, you know. Same wireless chip, so if you needed to swap it out, you don't have to like send it out and get repaired and bring it back. You can literally do it yourself. That is a huge pro. It's innovative. Love innovation. Not a lot of that going on in the vape industry currently because of the current situation of the vape industry in general. So I do love that. That's a pro. A few other colors. This is the Devil, Dark Devil. It's basically a nice red. Same stubby tank as in the 18650 version. I do have my drip tip that you guys have all been requesting and talking about on top. Very, very comfortable drip tip. Unfortunately, I don't know where I got it from, like I mentioned down below. I have the prototype coils from Brian Harrison inside. It's showing up as a 0.57, which I'm pretty surprised it's vaping the way it is, considering it's a high resistance for one coil. It's a 4mm wrap I did on it as well. I think it was a 3 and I pushed it out to a 4. Not on purpose. I just kind of, that's where it felt like it needed to go. And I got some of that lemon custard cake inside by Mr. Custard. Really, really good. E-liquid. 50 watts. It's a vape. Man, vape's really, really good. Vape's just like the 18650 version. Now, this isn't a pro or a con. To me, it's definitely a subjective con, I guess, in a way, is I do wish the tank had more airflow. And the reason why I say that is because I would have liked to put like a 0.3 in this specifically. Now, I'm not saying you can't put a 0.3 in it, but it gets a little bit too warm, right? But I like the warmth. So I just wish it had a little bit more airflow in it so I could pop in that 0.3 and get a really good draw on it. It's a little too tight for me. With the 0.57, it's awesome. But I would like to throw a 0.3 in there. And I do wish it had a little bit more airflow, you know? They do have mouth-to-lung kits. If you're a mouth-to-lung vapor, you don't... Definitely belay my last of what I just said. It's not going to pertain to you. If you like tight or restrictive or very low wattage vapes on these type of AIO burrow devices, then this doesn't pertain to you either. But for somebody that is me and wants something more compact, a little bit more inconspicuous and more of a chill vape, but you wish you could get a little bit more out of it, then that might pertain to somebody that I'm talking to. It might pertain to you. All right. But vape's really nice. Really good flavor. Really good performance. You know, when you first wick it, sometimes what I like to do, this is just, you know, this isn't like the way it's meant or engineered to be used. But I like to put it upside down when I first originally wick it, just to kind of get the wicks really going and get all of the mesh wire inside saturated. Is I put it upside down and then I see like a little bubble or two. I love seeing bubbles. That's the other downside to using these types of like RDTA tank things. It could hold a lot of e-liquid, which is a pro. But it doesn't, it sometimes can take a little bit while for it to wick, or it doesn't wick as efficient as if the wicks are sitting inside of the tank itself, and you can't really do it on this type of device. But this one, you're not really doing super sub-ohm, so it doesn't really require a lot to keep up with the wicking, right? If that makes any sense. But just food for thought. Try it out. If not, and you think I'm crazy, then don't try it out. But sometimes I like to put it upside down, see a couple bubbles, and know that that's how I really know if something's wicking. I'm probably an old school type of vapor, but I like to see bubbles and I know it's wicking. Like, it's satisfying to see bubbles. And when you use wire, stainless steel mesh wire for wicking, you don't really get bubbles. So that's just kind of one of my personal subjective things. Anyways. Man, it vapes fantastic. It's a little bit bigger in the hand than the 18650 version. I don't think it's too big, but I got big hands. I'm a big dude. So if you're a small, petite woman or you're a smaller guy, you know, but you don't really want something too big. You know, just have to take into account there's a little bit larger of a form factor. Not substantially larger, but there is a little bit difference of form factor when it comes to the 21700 versus the 18650. Now, the doors and whatnot aren't really interchangeable. I mean, you can put them in, but there's gaps. Like, you can't put the 18650 door on the 21700. Like, you can't put the 21700 door on the 18650 or any of the doors on the 18650. But you can use the 18650 doors to put on this, but there's going to be like gaps and whatnot. So they're not really interchangeable pieces for accessories. They do make accessories for these, however, that you can buy from third parties as well. But overall, I think Suicide Mods, Orca Vape, and Vaping Bogan did an absolute phenomenal job on these two devices. I'm happy that they came out with the 21700 version because, in my opinion, that's what I wanted as well, and they did come out with it. So, you know, you just get better battery life. You could probably go, you know, to work all day with 121-700, depending on how much you vape and what your wattage is at, etc. I got it at 50 watts with a 0.57, and it's vaping absolutely tremendous. But great job, Vaping Bogan. Great job, Brian Harrison, Suicide Mods, and Orca Vape. And I definitely do recommend this if you're into this sort of thing and you want something a little bit more battery life, but also still a little bit stealthy. I think the doors and the machining and everything in general is phenomenal. I think it's one of the best designed AIO burrow devices I've seen. I've seen not a lot, but it is just in general as well. Mod itself, comparing it to other mods in general, it's highly of quality, and I really do enjoy it. So thanks for watching. Stay juiced up, screw line up. Don't waste your bandwidth not being subscribed to the channel. Leave a like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.